What's going on, everybody? Day 30 post pump. That was a long day in the gym today. I upped all my weight on everything except for one thing. Everything I did. So went in there feeling pretty good. I did my 25 leg raises for my core. I ended up doing 15 dips unassisted. I think 15 or more, 15 or 20 actually. So I was able to do 5 or 6, and then I'd have to finish with the box assisted. But getting that full range of motion, that's a whole different ball game. Feeling that, it was awesome. Bench press, I simply upped it by 5 pounds for both the flat and the incline. And then when I got to shoulder press, military Smith press, I did that at 65 degrees. That just feels good for my shoulder, so I'm not using a whole lot of pec for that. A little bit, but mostly shoulder. It felt phenomenal. I upped that to 75 pounds. Might not seem like a lot, but when you got a bad shoulder and you're really working on form, it's enough. You got to remember, it's not so much the weight that you're moving, it's how you're moving it. That is the biggest thing that I have found, because I'm really trying to concentrate on that nice slow eccentric. Even with 205 on the bench, I think that's what I did, 205 or 210. I want to say it's 205, and I did 4 sets of 10. Actually 2 sets of 10, 1 set of 9, and the next was 11. The 1 and 11 was grinder style, just so I could get that extra rep, because it felt weird not to get it. Still went really well. Was pretty happy with it. The only thing is somebody was using the other machine I normally use for pushdowns, tricep pushdowns, extensions I guess. So I used a different machine, which the load feels slightly different. By the end of it, I'm sure I could use the same weight. I did 110 as opposed to 120 on tricep pushdowns. And I think part of that was I was done at that point too. Because normally I don't do the shoulder press, and I wasn't going to do tricep extension. I figured, you know what, I'm here, I'm gonna do it. So I mean, adding in the shoulder press, actually, it added on probably 10 minutes said and done. Then I brought my weighted vest today, so I got a 40-pound weighted vest. I haven't used it yet. Well, I can't say that anymore. Next level unlocked. So I used it today. I did a half-hour walk on the treadmill at an incline of 10 at a speed of 5. So a decent speed. That's kilometers an hour, by the way. Nothing crazy. That's a steady walk. Incline was high. When I got to 15 minutes, I brought it down to 5 and just cruised. And then when I got to 20 minutes, I brought it down to 0. And at 25 minutes, I brought the speed down to 3.5 just for the cool down, which is not much of a fucking cool down when you're wearing a 40-pound vest. It was striking to me to realize that 2 years ago, I was carrying 2 of those around essentially all the time. It was exhausting. It was harder on my neck and my shoulders than anything else. I didn't really feel my legs by the end of it, which are still sore from doing a 5K yesterday. So I went for a half hour, and it ended up being just about 2.5 kilometers, which is pretty good. Right now I am sitting at 3,393 steps, so 3,400 steps for the day. The goal is 10,000. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I got plenty of time for that. But it was a whole different experience. Mentally, it was grueling. Just trying to adjust that weight and and push through and go, you know what, I've got 10 more minutes. Like, that's nothing. That's 2 fucking songs, 2.5 songs now. And that's how I push myself when I'm doing stuff like that. I throw on some tunes and I go, okay, how far can I go? How many songs is this going to be? And then I got a rough idea, and I zoned out. Again, being in a private gym, it was myself and the owner. We both give her when we're in there. We have headphones in, and we just fucking sing at the top of our lungs, don't give a fuck. So that's what I was doing. I think there's one other person in there. He's another regular. He knows the drill. And just gave her. So was pretty happy with the overall pump today. Felt great. The walk was exhausting, but that's what I'm going for right now. I felt dizzy after. I talked to the owner about that, and he's like, yeah, you know what, most people get a headache right after they're done with this. And you know what, as soon as the treadmill stopped, I got instantly dizzy. I had to regain my composure, work on my breathing. It sucked. It was weird. I got really lightheaded, and having the extra 40 pounds on, I was like, hey, am I gonna fall over right now? But I didn't. I maintained pretty well. It was very good. Regained my composure, and everything was fine. Almost did a lap of the gym before I was even able to take the damn thing off. And I'm gonna do it again tonight. So I take the dog for about, a 1 to 2 kilometer walk. It's a lot different than doing it on the treadmill. For one thing, it's pretty flat. There's not a lot of hills depending on which way I go. I'm taking the pretty easy way. The goal is just to hit my steps for the day. So it was pretty good. I'm almost to one of my next stores, in which case I will be stopping and heating up some breakfast, which is, you guessed it, chicken and broccoli. I've upped the broccoli. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting about 15 to 20 grams of carbs with the broccoli at the start of the meal. With every meal, sorry. Because the goal at the end is to get 70 to 80. So I want to make sure that I get that, right? So I generally eat a lot more at night, which is not a surprise for dinner, but I've got 2 meals with me today because I want to make sure I get the right amount of protein, the right amount of carbs. My stomach's screaming at me right now. Aside from my shake this morning, which would have broke my fast, which wasn't too much of a shake. I just threw protein powder in with my pre-workout. Don't know if I'll do that again. I did it with a banana, and my heart rate started out really high, higher than normal, which is really weird. So it's something I got to pay attention to. So I don't know if I'm going to do that again. I have bananas that I have to eat before they go bad. And I know you just fucking freeze them and make banana bread. I got a shit ton in the freezer because I was going through bananas, and then I went through a phase and I stopped. So I got a ton in the freezer, so that's why I'm not freezing them. I got 3 left. I'm just going to fucking eat them. It's not going to do a whole lot for the diet for the 3 days anyway. So I'll make that work. Water intake, I am at a liter, and I've got my bubbly here, which is 450 mil, so half a liter almost. The goal is 4 to 6 liters. I have an hour drive, so I'm trying to be smart about this right now. So when I get to the next store, because I got 3 stores on the way, so it's great, I had to stop and use the washroom. Might be too much information, might not be. Otherwise, I feel great. So day 30, going in, and I can't wait to see what the cut is going to look like at the end of 2 weeks. 2 weeks more of what I'm doing, and then I'm going to probably just go in a maintenance phase for a while, because I don't want to all this hard work and then start bulking like crazy and lose all the definition. So I'm going to gradually start increasing, because the idea now is eating more protein, and then putting on more muscle. So that is going to be the ultimate goal. I'm just going to start adding a bit more rice and stuff in there. All right, guys, I got a conference call in about a minute and a half, so you guys know the drill. Own your lives, get after it. Cheers.